Welcome friends. Today I am going to discuss the next hormone. Name of this hormone is gibberellins. So I am going to discuss 3 points related with this hormone gibberellins. Definition of this hormone gibberellins, then discovery of this hormone gibberellins, and distribution or site of synthesis of this hormone. So as far as the definition of this gibberellin is concerned, gibberellins are the plant growth hormones which stimulates the longitudinal growth of stem. The presence of meristematic cells is necessary for longitudinal growth caused by gibberellins. That means in this definition 2 points are important. That means gibberellins are naturally occurring organic chemical substances or phytohormones which are involved in elongation of stem axis. So for the elongation of the stem axis, the meristematic cells must be there in the plant. That means the apical meristems which are located at the apical regions of the shoot axis, as well as lateral branches, apices of the lateral branches, they must be present in the cell. They must be present in the plant body. That means presence of meristematic cells is essential for the longitudinal growth caused by these gibberellins. So this is the definition of this gibberellin. Then discovery of gibberellins. So discovery of these gibberellins is related with the disease of rice. So this first report about this disease in the rice was reported by the Japanese plant pathologist Kurosawa in 1926. So accidentally, when this worker Kurosawa observed the rice field, he reported that some rice seedlings grew much taller. Some rice seedlings grew much taller than the healthy seedlings. So these tall seedlings are caused due to the fungus which is responsible for causing this disease. That means the name of this fungus is Gibberella fuscicora. That means this Gibberella fuscicora is the name of pathogen or fungus who infects these rice seedlings, and these infected seedlings becomes more taller. So appearance of this seedling, tall seedling, these seedlings are bigger than healthy plants of rice, as well as these rice seedlings which were infected with this Gibberella fuscicora fungus, they are pale yellow in color. That means these pale yellow colored seedlings, taller seedlings, are found to be infected by this Gibberella fuscicora fungus. That means the discovery of this gibberellin is related with this Bakane disease. So this is a Japanese term. Bakane is a Japanese term. So meaning of this term is foolish. What is the meaning of this term? Japanese term. Meaning of this Japanese term is a foolish. So some seedlings in the rice, due to infection caused by this Gibberella fuscicora fungus, grow foolishly so tall. That's why this disease was named in Japanese language as a Bakane disease. That means the discovery of the gibberellin is related with this Bakane disease of rice. And first observation was reported by this Kurosawa in 1926, while he observed the taller seedlings which were infected by the fungus, and due to infection these seedlings grow much taller. Later on, this is another worker, Sawada. He reported that the chemical substance secreted by fungus is responsible for this disease. That means Bakane disease is caused due to some effect of this fungus. That means fungal cells Gibberella fujikuroi fungal cells which are growing in the host, in the stem as well as leaves of the rice seedlings. These cells of the fungus, Gibberella fujikuroi fungus, they are responsible for secretion of some chemical substance, and this chemical substance which is secreted by this fungus, Gibberella fujikuroi fungus, is responsible for increase in height of this infected seedlings, and that's why these seedlings, infected seedlings, becomes more tall. That means due to influence of this chemical substance created by Gibberella fujikuroi fungus, the seedling becomes more taller, and which causes this Bakani disease. That means cause of the Bakani disease was reported by this Savada. That means according to him, the chemical substance secreted by fungus is responsible for the Bakani disease. The next report was given by this worker Hayashi in 1939. So this worker isolated two substances. These workers isolate the two substances from culture filtrate of the fungus. Which fungus? Gibberella fujikuroi. That means from the culture filtrate of Gibberella fujikuroi fungus, this worker Hayashi in 1939 isolated two substances, pure form substances from culture filtrate of Gibberella fujikuroi fungus. So he named this substance as a gibberellin A and gibberellin B. That means the name given by this worker to these substances as a gibberellin A and gibberellin B. Later on, the final proof was given by the Bryan in 1954. So this worker in 1954 isolated pure compound from culture filtrate of Gibberella fujikuroi fungus. F stands for fujikuroi. That means from Gibberella fujikuroi fungus, this last worker Bryan also isolated pure form compound from culture filtrate of Gibberella fujikuroi fungus, and this worker named this pure form substance as a gibberellic acid. That means the name gibberellic acid was given by this worker Bryan to the substance secreted by Gibberella fujikuroi fungus. That means Gibberella fujikuroi fungus, which is responsible for causing infection to the rice seedlings, is responsible for Bakani disease, and this Bakani disease, which is related with this rice plants, is the base of this discovery. That means discovery of the gibberellins involves the work of these workers like Kurosawa, Savada, Hayashi, Bryan, etc. Then after the discovery, I am going to discuss the distribution as well as site of synthesis of these gibberellins. So, as like auxins, gibberellins are also synthesized in very minute quantities in growing regions. What is the site of synthesis? Growing regions. Specifically, in the growing regions of the higher plants as well as lower plants, the gibberellins are synthesized. So, as far as distribution of this gibberellin is concerned, the gibberellins are at present more than 70 different GAs, gibberellic acids, are known. At present, more than 70 different gibberellins are known so far. So all these different 70 GAs or gibberellic acids, they are extracted from algae, fungi, and many higher plants. It may be angiospermic plant, it may be gymnospermic plant. That means all higher plants shows the presence of this GA. All algae shows the presence of GA. All fungi shows the presence of GA. That means cryptogamic plants like algae, fungi also shows the presence of GA. In addition to all higher plants are flowering plants belonging to angiosperms and gymnosperms. The 30 GAs are isolated from Gibberella fujikuroi fungus. That means out of these 70 GAs isolated by different workers from different sources. Some GAs are isolated from algae, some GAs are isolated from fungi, some GAs are isolated from higher plants. Out of these 70 different GAs known so far, 30 gibberellic acids are isolated from only one fungus known as Gibberella fujikuri fungus. Gibberella fujikuri fungus. That means 30 GAs are isolated from single fungus, Gibberella fujikuri. Then Katsumi, this is the name of worker, Katsumi in 1963 obtained GA3 in 130 species of gymnosperms and angiosperms. He examined various species of gymnosperms and angiosperms, and from these 130 species of gymnosperms and angiosperms, he obtained successfully the GA3. That means GA3 is a naturally occurring gibberellic acid. GA3 is the name given for naturally occurring gibberellic acid. That means GA1, GA2, GA3, GA4 and so on. So there is a long list of gibberellins. So naturally occurring gibberellic acid is commonly named as a GA3. That means this gibberellic acid, which is naturally synthesized by the plants, is commonly named as a GA3. So another GAs are named differently, like GA1, GA2, GA4, GA5, GA6 and so on. So other GAs are also produced by the plants, different plants named differently. So some GAs are also synthesized in laboratory, man-made chemicals which are showing same chemical formula, as well as same chemical role, biochemical role or physiological role. These chemicals which are synthesized naturally, they are known as natural GAs or GA3, and chemical compounds which are produced by human beings in laboratory, they are commonly called as synthetic GAs. That means gibberellins, this is not singular term, it is a group of chemical substances. Either they may be isolated from natural sources or naturally occurring hormone, gibberellic acid, as well as synthetic hormone. That means this term gibberellins is a plural term. It includes naturally occurring GAs as well as synthetic GAs. That means this Katsumi was successfully isolated GA3, naturally occurring gibberellins in 130 species of gymnosperms and angiosperms. They GA-like compounds. Name of these compounds: helminthosporic acid and phagoslic acid. These two compounds was successfully isolated from or extracted from these two sources. That means helminthosporic acid, this is the name of compound. This compound was extracted from this Helminthosporium sativum. So this is the name of one fungus. Helminthosporium sativum is the name of fungus. From this source, this helminthosporic acid is obtained or extracted. So this is a GA-like compound. Another compound, name of this compound is phagoslic acid. This another compound was extracted from bean seeds. This another compound was isolated from bean seeds. So that's all about the first part of our discussion regarding this gibberellins or gibberellic acids. Definition of this term gibberellins, historical background, that means discovery of gibberellins and distribution of these gibberellins. So next part of this topic, gibberellins, is the biochemical roles and practical applications of gibberellins. So as far as biochemical roles or physiological roles and practical applications of gibberellins are concerned, so gibberellic acids or gibberellins plays important role in performing different biochemical activities, and some of the biochemical roles played by gibberellins or some of the physiological roles played by these gibberellins, they are also used in practice. That means these physiological roles are commonly called as practical applications. That means total 9 physiological roles are played by these gibberellins. So first physiological role of gibberellin is stem elongation. Second physiological role of gibberellin is reversal of genetic dwarfism. That means some genetically dwarfed plants may be there in the nature, if we spray this genetically dwarf plant with GA, these plants becomes tolerable. That means due to lacking the sufficient amount of GAs in such genetically dwarf plant, the plant becomes dwarf. If we artificially supply the GA solution in appropriate concentration to this genetically dwarf plant, this plant becomes taller. That means this is the second physiological rule, reversal of genetic dwarfism. That means genetically dwarf plants we can treat with gibberellin, they can become taller plants. Then third physiological role is bolting and flowering. So this term bolting is commonly used for initiation of flower buds. So in case of biennial plants, or annual plants, flowering takes place in the second season or second year. In the first season, plant grows and produces rosette of leaves due to short internodes. Leaves are crowded. These crowded leaves at the nodes, they are known as rosette of leaves. In the second season, when plant grows further, the internode elongates, and on these long internodes, buds are developed, and these buds are responsible for development of the flowers. That means flower initiation in biennial plant takes place after exposing the plant to the winter season. When this plant is exposed to the appropriate photoperiod, and when this plant is exposed to the low temperature of the second season, then only flowering occurs in this plant. So in this phenomenon, gibberellin plays an important role. That means in the process of bolting and flowering, gibberellin is involved. Then fourth one, promotion of seed germination. So naturally germination of seed takes place when seed gets suitable conditions for germination like moisture, temperature and oxygen or air. But gibberellin also involved in natural process of germination of seed. That means seed germination process is facilitated by gibberellins. During the process of seed germination, GA stimulates or induces the synthesis of some enzymes like alpha amylase, which brings about hydrolysis of preserved food material in the form of starch in the endosperm of seeds, and due to hydrolysis of the starch which is stored in the endosperm of the seeds, it is converted into simple sugar, sucrose, and it is utilized by embryo. That means in the process of germination, GA plays important role in the synthesis of some enzymes which take part in hydrolysis of food or conversion of complex food like starch into simple food like sugars. That means GA is involved in seed germination process also. Then next physiological role of gibberellin is breaking of dormancy in buds. So bud shows naturally dormant period, generally during the season of winter, but do not sprout and develop into the branches. That means this bud which remain dormant during winter season is commonly called as bud dormancy. But if we spray the appropriate concentration solution of GA on such buds, the bud sprouts and develop into the branches. So this process of sprouting of bud after application of gibberellin is commonly called as breaking of dormancy of buds. Then substituting cold treatment. So I have told you earlier, in case of plants, which plants? Winter variety plants. In case of winter variety plants, the cold temperature during winter plays important role in the promotion or initiation of flowering in the winter varieties of the plants. So if we treat the plants with GA, even though these plants are not exposed to the low temperature, flowering occurs in this plant. That means we can substitute the requirement of the cold temperature during winter, which is naturally getting by the plant. That means without getting natural coldness, flowering can be induced in winter variety crops or winter variety plants. Then reversion of sex expression. That means in some members of family Cucurbitaceae, unisexual flowers are there. Male flowers are separate, female flowers are separate. So before pollination and fertilization, if we spray gibberellin solution in appropriate concentration, then male flowers are converted into female flowers and female flowers are converted into male flowers. So if number of female flowers are maximum, then there is a possibility of more fruit development. Fruit development. That means due to spraying the gibberellin solution in appropriate concentration, if we reverse the sex of the male flower into the female flower, the fruit formation process enhances and it is beneficial for the farmers. So this is the next physiological role, reversion in sex expression. Then next physiological role, eighth physiological role is parthenocarpy. That means in auxins also we have discussed the role of auxin is also involved in parthenocarpy. That means seedless fruit production. That means gibberellins are generally used in practice for development of seedless fruits like grapes, oranges, apples, cucumbers, etc. etc. That means before pollination and fertilization, if we spray the stigmas of the flowers with gibberellin solution, it avoids the pollination, fertilization and formation of seedless fruit is possible. And last physiological role played by the gibberellin is de novo synthesis of an enzyme alpha amylase. So I have told you earlier, alpha amylase is an important enzyme which is synthesized during the process of seed germination. So GA plays important role in the synthesis of this alpha amylase enzyme during the process of germination, which is involved in the hydrolysis of starch into sucrose, which is beneficial for providing the soluble food to the growing embryo. So that's all about the definition, discovery, distribution and physiological role and practical applications. I have not discussed today the practical applications of this gibberellin. I have discussed only 9 physiological roles or biochemical roles of the gibberellins. Thank you.